Hello.
How's it going, guys?
Not so bad.
Good, good. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, the team is in force. Good.
Full force today.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I know I never know a timing on these if 4 p.m. on a Sunday is good or not. So we'll just see how many jump on, and then every season we'll kind of switch up the times and see if one's better for others than not. But hi, Trisha.
Hi,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Sandy, you've done an endurance. You've done how many endurance seasons with us now?
I'm in my ninth year, so,
Ninth year. That's amazing.
still kind of going. Don't know how many more I'm going to manage, Tyler, I tell you.
So you're still really
Just
going,
rocking
not
and
kind of
rolling.
going. You're really.
Yep.
Mhm. And Trisha, how long have you been on the team now?
Gosh, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh,
Fresh.
way
I
up,
love
Trisha.
I
it.
love it.
We're gonna tell you all good things tonight about endurance season.
I'm here
We
for
gotta feel people out, see how long they've been a part of the team before we say too much. No.
it.
Oh, how's it going, Kristen? Katie, hello. All right, guys, we'll wait about a couple more minutes here and then we'll get started. Well, this will be recorded too, just so you guys know. If you need to come back and listen to anything else, you absolutely can. But for some of the team that wasn't able to jump on with us tonight, whatever it is, they'll be able to watch the recording. So,
Right, Mallory.
hello, Mallory.
All right.
She's muted.
Today we are going to go over endurance season. We're going to go over the new Crave Team app a little bit, and kind of cover a bunch of different things. This is going to be recorded so everyone can see. We'll have it posted on all of the uh, Facebook pages and all of the everywhere that people are getting content, so that all of the athletes can have this as a resource. One of the big things that we're going to try to stress, as we continue to grow, it's awesome, but it does get harder and harder to communicate with everybody. And so that's part of what this new app is all about. Bringing all of our athletes from all of the different locations together in a spot where we can celebrate wins, go over goals, and just get motivation from everybody else that's on the team across the board. So this is the first time that we've done this using this app and doing this whole thing. So that hopefully this will continue to grow as far as attendance live. How's it going, Brittany? But as we continue to go, this is going to be a great spot and a great resource for all of our athletes to meet in one spot. So
Mike, you've changed a little bit since I saw you last.
love, love the dog profile pictures. Amazing. All right, I'm going to start with sharing my screen here. We are going to go over kind of the app. It does look a little bit different because I'm on my desktop version, and so I'm also on the admin version. So it may be a little bit different than what you typically see on your app. But the main thing that we want to concentrate on first is the left column. So there's a 3-line menu in the top left that should bring us up to this sidebar. This sidebar for all of the athletes will have members, which shows who's online currently. It'll have a feed that will basically show all activity from everybody that's sharing in all the different places. And so you can see the feed that just kind of continues. So again, this is what Amber posted 6 hours ago, but you can see the entire gamut of what everybody is posting. Oh, hold on, I gotta admit another couple people here. Awesome. And so you can see all of these in your feed. Some people will have access to a little bit more than others. If you're in an FTP group, so if you're in the nutrition group, you'll see what the nutrition athletes are posting as well on this feed. If you're not in that group yet, if you want to be, let us know, because there is definitely room. That is basically starting an 8-week challenge that started last Monday for nutrition. And we do a lot of it on here. We do live calls every Monday currently. And then we have kind of coursework and some different things that will help each week to make sure that we're really diving into nutrition and taking your knowledge, not just in the gym, but what do we do with the other 23 hours of that day to be successful in life. And so this is a huge tool, and the FTP group is a great way to dive into nutrition. So if anybody is wanting to jump on board there, great. The second, or the next part, would be discovery that everybody will see. This is basically, again, it breaks all of the content that is fed into here, all the communications and all of those type of things. It just kind of breaks it up into a different thing. So you can search things, you can see some different things. Here's some FTP stuff. So not everybody would see all of this stuff. But if you're in FTP, you would see those there as well. You'll see members. The cool thing, when you look at members, you can see what we have in common with everybody and different things. So you can see home locations as far as like what Crave location is your home location and all those fun things. So you can connect with people that maybe you're an afternoon and they're an early morning, so you never run into each other. But this is a great place to talk about goals and what drives you on a daily basis. And so the events tab is next. The events will show things like this that we have coming up. It shows Amber's live calls. It will also show our power partner our power partner events each season. So if we have an event that we're doing with one of our power partners, they will be on here as well. So it can help you kind of keep track of the entire Crave calendar. We have a couple different events coming up that will be on here. So we have our this season, we have our More Than Pink 5K, which is October 25th. If you're in the Des Moines Metro, if you're outside, if you're from Elkhorn or Sioux Falls, we invite you guys to come in if you want to make a day of it. But it's a 5K where we will be donating to American Cancer Society the proceeds from that race. And so that's been awesome. It's grown and grown for, I think we've done almost 5 years now.
5 years. And it's a good race to do at the end of this season, especially because you feel like you're conditioned enough to go try to run a 5K, whether that's a combo of walking, running. But a lot of people do set their goal, like, I'm going to finish the end of this season with that 5K, which is why we planned it towards the end of this season, to give you guys something to really focus on, to be able to do. So it's a lot of fun. It's at Waukee. We have a great route that we run, and there's food and drinks and stuff afterwards too. So it's a pretty big celebration.
Definitely. And so the new athletes tab is for anybody can do this, but it's primarily for a new athlete. So Trisha, if you were to go in here, this will kind of walk you through a successful first month. And so we have, welcome to the team. We have a course that basically is what to expect week 1, something that breaks it down, simplifies what you should be concentrating on, because we know, when you join the team, there's a lot of people can be nervous. A lot of people don't know what to expect. Maybe it's the first gym that anybody's ever been a part of. And so we broke it down very simply to have the most successful 28 days, and simplify it and say, just concentrate on this thing week 1, just concentrate on these 2 things. And we kind of have it stack until you get to week 4, and we'll continue to go. So then that is part of the athlete intro for new athletes. If you're a current athlete, just because you've been with us for 9 years, if you take a look at these videos and you take a look, and it's a great reset for, like, okay, life's been crazy. Maybe I haven't been into the gym for a couple weeks. Let's just really kick it in the butt and get restarted. This is a great thing to just say, okay, I'm gonna week 1 just concentrating on getting my 3 team training sessions in. Week 2, what do we do? And so it's a good starting point to get back in it. Wins, we want to get in the habit of sharing everybody's wins. Looks like Sandy, we have yours on here as well. But we have want to get in the habit of everybody sharing wins on a weekly basis. Sharing wins is a huge point of emphasis when it comes to your journey, you crushing the sport of life, is celebrating those little milestones and those wins that we get on a weekly basis. Because looking at the positive is always a huge thing. And to get to those, we can kind of go into the next thing, which is our season goals. So each 8-week season, we want to make sure that we are making goals. SpongeBob is trying to catch his breath. So Brittany, you're on here as well. So I love this goal. But each season, we want to encourage everyone to really get their goals written down. Goals made public are goals that we can achieve. If they're private goals and we don't let anyone know, oftentimes we're not held accountable to achieving those goals. But it can also be nerve-wracking, right? Putting your goals on paper makes it real. And the only way to get to those goals is to make it real. And everyone here is going through the same workouts, going through the exact same training sessions. And so you may have some other people with a very similar goal. You may have some other people that just don't really know what goal they want to set right now. And so being able to read through your goal might inspire someone else to really take action and take another step in their fitness journey. Team board is kind of just our team announcements. So this oftentimes will be from Amber, myself, any of the other head coaches. But this is just kind of call it an old school pin board for any random announcements that we will have. So this is kind of where we can see those. And then team events are going to be things like this. So our power partner events are under here. We don't have the current ones updated, but the 5K will be on here. Our Crave Team Huddle will be on here. We just took it down, but we had all of like the summer tour, the outdoor training sessions were all listed on here as well. And so you can kind of see what extracurricular activities we got going on at Crave under Crave Team Events.
And I have a note to add these too, but this weekend, actually, this coming Saturday morning, Kaizen, it's a physical therapy place. They're celebrating their 6th year being open. So I'll add this, but you guys should get a notification, and that might be something we'll talk about, is turning notifications on for some of these things. I think you guys have control over that, but I'll be adding that one. It's a free event. It'll be at their place. It's an outdoor workout. And that's Saturday, I believe, from 9 to 10. And then I will be putting our 5K on here as well. So that link is up and ready to go on Facebook, and then I'll transfer it over to this as well.
Perfect. Just for anybody that might not know how to get to this app, if you go to your Crave Gym app, just Crave Gym on the App Store, and you scroll down, it'll say Team Crave. Click on there. If you're not currently enrolled in this part of the app, then you can say get access, and it'll shoot us a note, and we will you'll answer a couple questions, and we'll confirm your on the team, jump in here, and then you have access to this. So if you want to get to this app, the easiest way is to have your Crave Gym app, and just on the homepage, once you're like logged in and in with your profile, it should continue to just pull up where you want it from the Crave Gym app. So we tried to make it as seamless as possible with 2 apps working. And that seems to be the easiest way, is just getting on your Crave Gym app where you book for all of your sessions and clicking on the Crave team. And then this kind of feeds into there. On my side, you can ignore the coaches corner and the head coaches hub. We have our internal coaches trainings and material on here as well. But then we get into our FTP program, and we'll give a quick preview for anybody that's not in FTP right now. We just started, but we have our community board there. We have our FTP resources here, which has the 8-week playbook. It has week 1, which was just this last Monday, which is the live feed, the live video that we did. And then the coursework is something that we'll go through, and it's basically educational. We'll walk everybody through it on the live calls, and then we'll leave the live calls with like an assignment of, hey, before next week's call, check out week 3 protein. You'll go through and you can kind of look through that. We'll answer questions and we'll dive deeper into that material But this is kind of the coursework for that 8-week program. It's an awesome 8-week program. We've been developing it. If some of you were on the Prime 6 challenge, some of that is filtered into this. So we've been developing this program for a long time. And the biggest thing that we want to do is help to bring people together, be held accountable for nutrition. Because like I said, some of the most important parts, and Amber has gone over this, I think, in social media, so you may have just heard her talk about it, but you know, we have the gyms that we own, but we understand that 80% of your progress is going to be what you do on the 23 hours a day that you're not in the gym. And so helping to facilitate and hold accountable outside of the gym is what we're all about, and this is a huge step in that direction. So if you have any questions, you know, let us know, let your head coaches know, let any of your coaches know at the gym, and we can get you set up for the FTP course. We'll run those 8 weeks, and then if you've done the first 8 weeks, then we have kind of another kind of accountability group to continue on a monthly basis and just continue to celebrate those wins each week, talk about your you know, goals for the next week, and analyze your nutrition the previous week. And so it's a great 8-week intro course, but then we have kind of the built-in month-to-month after that for as long as you would want to have that accountability, continue to hold yourself accountable. But then it's also nice to have those live videos once a week and your teammates coming on to hold you accountable for that. So that's a little plug for the FTP program and what that's all about.
And then there's also a chat feature on here, so you guys can message us if you have questions or anything. There is a chat feature that goes to us,
Yep.
so you guys can utilize that.
So you can either hit chat with co-host up here, and then you should be able to pick from any of our head coaches or us. So if you have a question at the very top, you can check that. If not, you can come up here to the chat bubble and or just search our name on the members list, or anybody for that matter. If you want to have you know, a private chat with someone else that's in your same boat, maybe they just joined the team and you just joined the team, you can chat with anyone on this app as well that is on the team here as well. So really cool. You know, we're utilizing it right here as far as this live call. And so we're going to do a lot more things like this in live, and just have this community built and continue to bring people to one spot to celebrate everybody's victories, and to help keep everybody accountable as well. So that's kind of the first thing that we wanted to cover, is this app in
Do you guys
general.
have any questions on any of that stuff?
I don't see chat with co-host on my app.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
Do you have a chat bubble that looks kind of like this one up here anywhere?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So what you can do is, and I know we've chatted a couple times, if
Yep.
you click that, you can search any member or any head coach or coach that's on here, and you can search up here. And so I don't know why I have this and you guys don't, but then if you don't have that, the chat bubble will be where you can search for any of the coaches, any questions. And that's a big part of, you know, becoming a new athlete, is asking questions, you know, staying engaged and getting everything answered. You know, I know that it's always tough. Sometimes you'll see different coaches during training. You won't see a head coach maybe maybe for the couple times that week, and you might have a question that you want answered right away. This is a great way to get a hold of anybody that's at the gym to answer any questions that you would like, and we'll be messaging through those as much as possible. And so it's a great communication resource for us all. Great question though. Thank you, because I can never see what.
Right. Or sometimes desktop, you'll have different things versus like your app on your phone, you know what I mean? So it might be kind of different too. If you guys try it on a computer versus on your phone, that might make a difference as well, but that's what it looks
Okay,
like.
cool. So we got a
Perfect.
picture of what it looks like on the.
Look at Brittany
On the phone.
multitasking, walking,
I love it.
screen
Getting it
shot,
all up.
listening.
Perfect.
Okay.
So yeah,
perfect.
you can see whoever is online. All of these athletes and coaches are currently online. And then if you want to search anyone else, you can search up here as well and add a chat anywhere you want to on that feature there. So it looks like on the bottom left, if you're on there, that you can search that. Thank you for adding that screenshot, Brittany. Awesome. Excellent. So let's get into endurance season.
How was everybody's first week? Looks like we survived and hopefully thrived.
It was tough.
It's always a shocker to the system, right?
Anytime we get
Gotta
into a
fix that.
conditioning season, you know, it's a much different pace. It's always kind of an eye opener to be like, holy crap, things sped up. You know, also the number of reps went to a higher rep range, and so I'm like, I used to do this lift with 100 pounds. Now I'm doing it with 50 pounds, and so there's a lot of things that that switch from a strength season to a conditioning season. Specifically endurance, but also agility season and striking season. When we switch from a strength season to our conditioning season, there is a big shift in just the time sequence and how fast we're rolling. You'll get used to it pretty quick as well, though. Let's see, we got chat.
Oh, I bet you guys are loving endurance is what you're gonna say. We
Friday
just
was
love it.
humbling. I love it. My legs are feeling like they're heavy bags of sand. Friday was humbling. My walk that I just did was challenging. Legs are a bit wobbly after yesterday, so I love it. And that's what it's all about, right? Is being able to we don't want to just be solely worried on strength. We don't want to be just solely worried on conditioning. We want to be well-rounded, balanced athletes, and that's what the transitions are all about. And so getting into some of the specifics for endurance, you guys have probably seen how the clock is the same but feels different than last season. So we have the 4 minute up front, halftime, and then we have our 20-20 sprints at the end. So the clock is set each round for that segment. And then like same thing, we have our rest and rotation, and then we get into it. The biggest shift is going to be having a different rep range in strength and a different pace, and almost a mindset shift is needed with strength. So we're still getting strength. We actually help with muscle gain as far as hypertrophy with a higher rep range. So being in 15 to 20 rep range, the pace is going to be super high, but if we're not getting to that 15 reps, we need to make sure we humble ourselves a little bit, like a couple people have said, and do the weight that is able to get in between that rep range. It is a completely different adaptation with our muscles to be able to do that much weight, and you should be almost failing inside of that rep range, which means if you are too light of a weight and you get done with 15 and you're like, I just, got done with 15 and it felt super easy, then you might have to go a little bit heavier. So we still want to feel that fatigue in the muscle for that movement on the tail end of that rep range. And get into that 15 to 20 or to that specific movement, depending on what the workout is. It might be a specific rep as well. And so trying to find that perfect weight, and that's what we want to make sure we're using our weight cards still, getting those written down, and making, a lot of people might need to make notes that say, hey, when I did this weight, I only got to 13, right? Because especially for guys, if we were doing 8 reps, it's tough for me at least to mentally take the weight off in order to do 15, but you're doing double the reps, and so you may have to cut your weight in half, and that's humbling sometimes. But the adaptation that we get, the muscle hypertrophy, which basically just means muscle growth, is all about that 15 to 20 rep range. So that's the best way to maximize those. And then when we get into strength season next season, when we get back down to that 4 to 6, we're working on muscle strength and power again. And so those are the two biggest differences. But if you combine those and go back and forth season to season, that's the best way to get muscle growth as well as strengthening that muscle and increasing power. And so that's why we go back and forth in those rep ranges all throughout the year. different in each season as we go through.
And keep in mind too, you guys, I know the barbells, are they're 45 pounds, right? But I think that there's a chest day where, if you needed, if you can't do the barbell because it's just too heavy, we can grab a plate. Okay. So grab a plate and then you're doing plate chest presses. So there's like 25-pound plate, 35-pound plate. So if you do that first couple sets with the barbell, but then you only get 10 to 12 reps, we have to take that off, grab a plate so you can get those 15 to 20 reps in. There's different movements too, where we can sub out the bar with the plate if you just can't get those in. So keep that as a reminder, as you go through this season too. And hopefully coaches are coaching those things up. But those plates are always there if you guys need it.
Yes, Katie had a good question in the chat. She said, my weight card has 5 challenges. Say it isn't so. We will be at 3 this season. That is an old weight card as far as that segment of it. And
Maybe
so,
we should.
yeah. Well, we will be having 3. So we used to have almost every other week. We were doing a challenge. Now we do it 3 times a season. And so since that shift, we have not changed the weight card. So you can, if you want to run an additional mile for Strava miles, you can test that out. If you want to have your own, you got 2 columns there for your own miles. If you're competing with yourself and jumping into Strava, which is a great transition into the Strava app. So this season, we are having a competition for our Strava miles. This is going to, it's always a fun, all you have to do is join Strava. Again, it's a different app. I know that there's a ton of different things, a bunch of different moving parts this season, but Strava is its own app. Join on there and then find the club. I think they call them clubs, right?
Team Crave. No, I think they're still under, they're called clubs. Yeah,
They're
but it's
called
like
clubs
Team
on the app.
Crave Gym, West Des Moines.
Whatever
Team
your
Team
location is, join that location because each week we'll be looking through those. Make sure the idea and the challenge this season is to get to a marathon throughout the entire season. So we have 8 weeks to get a marathon in. If you record those miles, it will show up on your personal profile. Unfortunately, it does not keep a live weekly tally of how many you've had. So when you get to your marathon, we have a prize for you. Make sure that you let your coach know, your head coach or any of the coaches know that you have achieved that marathon, because each week it only tells us how many miles we ran that week. And so then it, unfortunately, the app erases that and then it adds to the next one. So instead of making our coaches tally every single person's up, it does tally on your individual profile. So as you get to the goal of a marathon this season, report that into the coaches and you'll get your prize with that. So if you're Amber, you've done like centitrillion miles already somehow. If you've seen her Strava, I don't know how it's glitching, but she's done
Lots of miles, guys.
trillions and
Lots
trillions,
of miles.
trillions and trillions of miles this season. So I don't know why it's doing that, but you can
I think
see
it reset.
did
Hopefully
it,
this
did
week.
it reset
Yeah,
this week?
yeah.
Okay, so last week, if you saw her in any of the groups, she was recording some crazy
yeah.
miles and everyone was commenting on it. But you'll be able to see your miles and then we'll have a kind of an update. So compete for the week and oh, is it still?
There it is.
Yep, 7. Here's a good one. If you look at the chat, we have something like 709 trillion miles. If that's actually even more than that.
I was laughing so hard and I couldn't delete it. So I tried to uninstall my app and then sign out of my account. But then if I deleted it, then all the clubs would have been deleted. Then I would have had to add new clubs in. So I'm like, I just got to roll with it. But it was funny. It was so funny. I was trying to cheat, see if you guys would pay attention to if I actually ran those or not.
So if she was in your group, her miles don't count. You can still, if you were number 2 in her club, you got number 1 in her club. So
and a couple things with that, guys. I have gotten some messages like some people don't like to see their map, so they run around their house a lot and they don't want their location seen. So you can shut that off by just doing a manual entry. So what I do is I'll get on my watch and I'll go for a walk for like an hour and say it says 3 miles, 3.4 miles. You can manually enter it. Okay, so you can go into manual, which I can pull this up and show you guys. So if you go down here to this plus right here, it'll say
screen, you can't really see that.
it'll say manual activity, which is right down here. You can just hit manual activity and then type everything in. Okay. So that way, and it won't show the screen for you guys on like where you were running around to. And also, you have to log it as a run, even if you went for a walk. So in order for it to count. So a lot of people are like, I'm going for walks, but it's not adding up my miles. So even if you go for a walk, put it in as a run, and then it'll add towards those miles. So there's a couple tips on that.
Walks, runs, skips, all of those count. We don't count bike rides. And so you can't put 100 miles on a day in a bike ride and count it. But anything that is on your 2 feet, you can count as your run. And so
So you can also change your Strava settings to change the start and finish marker and the privacy. So hers doesn't show within 1 mile radius of her house, which is awesome. So look into that too. So because I know some people are just nervous about that, and also, when you're in the team sessions, if the coaches say go out and log Strava miles, log them. Even during that first round, if I'm not rowing, I'm running, I still look at my treadmill, and if it's 0.6 miles, you can still add those in if you guys are really adamant on seeing how far you can get this season. Okay, so you can manually add them in and just say team session 0.6 miles and continue to add those throughout.
Those miles will be tougher if you're on a treadmill, so you earned them if you're doing the manual on the tread.
Right. Does anybody have any questions on anything so far? Perfect. And if you do, send them in the chat, jump on, ask away.
The next thing that we have that's going to be getting started here is our team bingo. So for those who were around last year around this time, we did a team bingo. It's a ton of fun. We are going to go, the chat says go to privacy controls and map visibility for that. So if you are on Strava and you want to go to privacy mode, privacy controls and map visibility for that. Thank you, Brittany. And so the bingo, super fun. What we do is everyone that jumps into bingo, we make the teams. And so the goal of that is to get you outside of your comfort zone, get you with meeting new people, meeting different athletes on the team, and accountability. All of those things are really great with a team atmosphere. So we want you to meet new people in this. We want part of the bingo is to get together, outside of the gym as well. That gives you a bingo square as well. And so just getting into the community, meeting new people, because that is half the fun of being on the team is your teammates. And that's always been a huge focus of ours is for everybody to feel like they're a part of the team, to understand that all of these people are going through very similar things to me, and how can we do this as a team? Because if the team succeeds and everyone has their individual goals, we're much more likely to achieve success on our individual goals if we're cheering other teammates on and doing all of that. So again, that's one of the reasons the team bingo is so cool. But I'll have you.
Yeah, so how it's going to work. So starting this week, the head coaches will really push it just because we need a final head count by the 11th. So if you're going to participate, you need to be signed up by September 11th, which is this Thursday,
I believe. Yep.
So it's a $10 buy-in. Okay. So
Thursday.
$10 buy-in per athlete. That gets you into the drawing at the end. So you're going to have teams, either teams of 3 or 4, depending on how many people join. The head coach is going to put you on a team, and you're going to have a bingo. There's probably 16 to 20 squares on there. So one square will say come to 3 team sessions a week. So if you get that, you'll put a little circle on that square. The coach will initial it. Your goal is to have all 3 or 4 of you on the team to have a blackout, right? So you're going to encourage everybody to get a blackout. However, if say you just have 16 or 15 of those squares filled, whatever team, and we'll add them all up, has the most squares filled, if there's no blackouts, they will be the winning team. Okay, so your goal is to get as many circles filled out between your guys' sheets as possible.
So we go for number of blackouts is the first goal. Number of bingos is the second goal. So if you do get your bingo I don't know how many people are playing bingo nowadays, but basically bingo means that you make a line through your bingo card. And so as you get that bingo, that counts. And so we count up the number of bingos, and then we get into the number of overall squares as the third bracket of kind of tiebreakers and all that kind of stuff.
And it goes from September. Can you pull up the calendar, please?
Yep.
I need the bingo card. So it'll run September 15th, that Monday, and it goes until October
13th.
19th. We said the 19th.
Yep,
Okay. So if you guys wanted to get that last happy hour coffee in, but then it says do a happy hour coffee with your teams. Then you would all put that circle on. One of them says sign up for the 5K. So then if you get that, you can sign up for that. You get a circle. So it'll run for that entire month. The team that finishes in first place will get their choice of Noble shoes up to $150. Okay. Second place, we have a $100 gift card for retail, nutrition coaching, or supplements. And then the third place team will get a free shaker bottle and their $10 back. So it's kind of fun. It's just, you know, we've seen some teams really come together, meet some of their best friends out that they have at the gym, just because it's built on community and culture. Also, a lot of people come in motivated and excited because there are some challenges like getting 12 sessions in, or, you know, however many within those 4 weeks. So it's a lot of fun. So definitely recommend signing up. There's going to be sign up sheets at the locations on the front desk of each location. So make sure you write your name down if you do want to participate by September 11th. Okay. And then the head coaches are going to assign teams next weekend. We'll put you in a group chat, and then you guys are on your way or running for that bingo, for those bingos or those blackouts. Anybody have any questions on that? No.
Excellent. Next up, we covered it a little bit when we were talking about events, but our More Than Pink 5K, we're teaming with American Cancer Society again this year. And so October 25th, we will be at the Waukee location, and we will have that 5K. We have a mile walk or a 5K run. So you're more than welcome. We have all sorts of athletes there, whether they're pushing their kids in a stroller for the mile walk, or some that are super competitive and want to, you know, see how fast they can run their 5Ks. This is at the end of the endurance season, and so if you've done 5Ks and different things in the past, this is an awesome way to kind of evaluate, like, hey, I did a 5K last year and my time was X, and I did endurance season and a 5K right after that, and I crushed my 5K from the last time I did it. So this is a great progress tracker as well. But more importantly, this season we're talking about, if you've seen any of the signs, F cancer, right? So we're doing the whole season is for the American Cancer Society. We have pink ribbons at each location as well. And what we want to do there is write someone's name that has been affected by cancer, and we're dedicating the season to them. Kind of understanding that endurance sucks, endurance is tough, but there's other tougher things in life that other people have dominated and gone through. And so, you know, if we think about them when we're on our second mile of running, we can do a lot of tough things because it's nowhere near some of the things that a lot of people are going through. So that's kind of what those are all about. That's the deeper meaning behind all of that, is just keeping those things in mind. Invite other athletes. Everybody is welcome. So it's not just Crave athletes. Invite friends, family, anybody that wants to attend can attend. We will have signups, I believe.
Signups are going now. Yep. You will get a t-shirt. So included is a t-shirt, food after, drinks after, and then that donation to the American Cancer Society as well. So it's a super fun event. As long as the weather stays warm for us, it'll be great. So
yes.
And like Tyler said, there's a park when we run too, which is kind of nice because you can have your kids play right there, and then you kind of run around the park as well. So you can bring your kids. Some parents have their kids play, some the kids run with them, some they push them in the stroller the whole time. And so whatever you guys want to do, it's your race too, but have some fun with it. And like he said, you do have some people that are just set a goal for themselves and want to go out and achieve that too. So wherever you're at, just show up and support that great cause.
Definitely. All right. That's our entire agenda as far as what we're going over for this season. Are there any logistical questions, anything that anybody has on the season that we didn't cover that we can answer while we were on the call today?
We should probably talk about the challenge.
The challenge as well?
We didn't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should, or maybe we should.
I love it.
So tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday will be our 1 mile challenge. Okay. So each location has mapped out a 1 mile run for everybody. And so, you know, I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves on how well we're going to do and all those things and what our teammates are going to think, but we're all in this together, right? We're all cheering each other on. It doesn't matter if you get it done in 7 minutes or if you get it done in 27 minutes, right? We're all here for each other. And so that 1 mile run will be after the warm up. So we'll do the warm up, go achieve that 1 mile. Obviously on your lifting card, you see the spots where you can write down your times. I'm telling you guys, this is a really cool season to see the improvement of chunking, just taking chunks off on that mile. Hopefully you're not going the other direction. But it's a really cool one. So pay attention to your time, show up for yourself. Okay. It's just you versus you. It's not you versus anyone else. So show up. You guys, when you finish a challenge and you overcome and persevere through those, it just helps us set up to dominate everything else we do the rest of the day, right? Because we have that confidence instilled in us that we showed up, we did this hard thing, whatever else comes our way, we can do. So look at it, yes, as a celebration. Mike had that little celebratory thing going. So it's a celebration to show up and do the hard stuff, even if we don't want to, but show up. It's going to be tomorrow and Tuesday. Also know that if you get done faster than a teammate, let's wait for them. Okay. You'll go in and still do your endurance part of it. So we'll wait for everyone to finish before we start the team session. But go and encourage them, right? Because that person that feels last already feels that pressure, but be a good teammate when they come in. Let's cheer them on and really celebrate, you know, everybody that shows up to that challenge.
And that's what it's all about. You know, we've had a ton of athletes that are super nervous to go out and do these challenges because they feel like, hey, I'm not going to compete with top 10. Is it even worth doing? And this is in particular is such a great challenge because in an 8-week period, we've had, you know, some of the most inspiring people are people that ran a 20-minute mile to start and dropped it to a 15-minute mile at the end of 8 weeks, you know, and so competing against yourself, seeing your progress is the most important thing. And you're not alone. Your entire team is always cheering you on. So if it is something that you are nervous about, you know, go in and just know that the team is there to be on your side. That's why we're a team. And you're going to see amazing progress and amazing results. And that's the important part. You're always competing against yourself. And we do have the top 10, you know, things. We have all that kind of stuff, which is fun. And we can have, you know, people competing against everyone to get the fastest time. And me, I'm not a runner. I see guys breaking 5-minute miles in the, you know, in the endurance season challenges. And I would never touch that. But, you know, I am still looking forward to going from a 10-minute mile to an 8-minute mile during this time, right? And so all of those things is a personal goal. Set your personal goals, write those personal goals down, put those personal goals on the app here. And it's one of those things where you may have not, a lot of people are like, shit, I haven't done this since elementary school, right? And the cool thing is it just gets a baseline for that endurance for you. And then once you get that baseline, set a goal to do, you know, cut X off of that or whatever the case might be. And so once you get this baseline, it's an either tomorrow, Monday, or Tuesday. It's an excellent opportunity then to set that goal and achieve it, and you're going to feel amazing after the season when you achieve those goals that we set 8 weeks prior after this initial challenge. So just look at it as a progress tracker and continue to set goals and dominate everything. So that's one of the biggest things we have kind of to close out here.
One other thing I wanted to talk about too, sorry. I've noticed a couple locations, they've asked if on their off days, what should I be doing? So obviously we encourage active rest days. So walking, running. This season, especially, we see a lot more people just moving their bodies, whether that's getting an extra 2 miles in, 5 miles, or wherever you're at. So obviously encouraging active rest. We've also had athletes be like, I want to come in and lift on my off days. What can we do? And you absolutely can do that. You have 24/7 access. And something that we have that a lot of athletes don't know is we can write you like your own personal lifting program. So for an 8-week program, so maybe 2 days a week of lifting because you want to come in and work on your chest strength or your leg strength, whatever that's at, you would sit down with one of the head coaches or one of the coaches and be like, these are my goals. And then we will write you a program to go with Heart and Hustle. And for that 8 weeks, it's 50 or 40. I forget. 40 bucks. So $40 for an entire 8-week program. And you can do that for every season, right? So if you have a powerlifting goal in mind, or you just want to come in on your off days and actually follow something, keep that in mind. So if you're looking for some activity to do besides running or walking, message your coach, message us on here. We can even meet with you virtually or in person and come up with a plan for you to follow. So they're very helpful for people. And again, remember, these active rest days, they're not going to be as intense as a team session day, right? Because that defeats the purpose of training hard every single day. We don't want that. It's going to be more of a slow lifting program to help you achieve that strength goal, right? So depending on where you're at, so kind of keep that in mind, but it's a great thing to add if you're looking for something more.
And it really works well when you're pairing it with the current, if you have powerlifting goals, or if you have strength goals, and we're working on hypertrophy in which is muscle growth in our current season of endurance, still having 1 or 2 days where you're focusing on lower rep range and keeping that strength, keep gaining that strength through endurance seasons. That's where it kind of maps out. And then we typically see the opposite in a strength season, right? So strength season, you'll be doing 4 to 6, and then it may be more of a endurance-based active rest program or an agility-based active rest program where you're doing more of those on your off days because you're already getting your heavy strength, right? So it works best with almost the opposite of goals inside of that. So you're just getting a continued well-rounded program. I'd also mention if you're on our current pro package, that's included in that package as well. And so call your coach, get a meeting set up, and we'll get that all programmed for you as well. So kind of to recap, we have 1, set goals this season. Use the app as much as possible to post wins and post goals. Goals are never, just like anything in life, success is never a straight line. So you're going to have some really great wins throughout. And so we want to celebrate those wins every single week, but set your seasonal goals and tell us all about those on our app.
All positive things. We don't like endurance. When's strength season going to start?
Download the Strava app, join the team or whichever they're called clubs on the app, but join the club that is with your location so that you can track miles with everybody at your location. Getting into Team Bingo. So we want to make sure that we're getting anybody that is wanting to get into Team Bingo. Signups for that will be done at the end of next week. And then the 5K. Signups at the front desk for the 5K, and you can go to craveathlete.com as well and sign up on there as well. On there too, we just had hats drop, so I don't know if you can see this hat. They're meant to be upside down, I guess. We have had a bunch of people ask why the Crave's upside down. It's a trend.
It's cool.
I don't do much with trends, but it's the thing, right? And so
thing.
if you're looking for anything, any of our gear is on that craveathlete.com as well. And that's kind of all I have here. We're in this again to reiterate our mission and Crave's mission across the board is to help all of the athletes dominate the sport of life. A lot of people participated in sports back in the day, and that was our #1 goal driver. And then when that sport dropped off, it's tough to have that progress and what to train for and all of that. And now our sport is the sport of life. So we want to continue to treat life like a sport so that we can continue to progress and have that athletic mindset. And here's a great tool to, this app is a great tool to continue to set those goals each season, to continue to achieve those goals. And then that's going to feed into all of life outside of the gym as well. If you have that athletic mindset at work, if you have that athletic mindset with your family, always setting goals and achieving things, that's going to be the progress that you're always going to be getting better and better and better. That's all we're about here. And that's kind of the main mission.
And our tagline this season is positive actions create positive results, right? So I think if we go into the negative mindset this season, it's going to make it a miserable 8 weeks. But if we go in with a positive attitude, we get to move our bodies, we get to show up to the gym, because like Tyler said earlier, there's probably people battling cancer that would love to step foot in a gym. They just are weak. They're going through those treatments, right? And they can't. So the more we can instill how lucky we are to get to show up and train and just be a part of a team and a community that wants us to win, that's going to help us carry through the season, because I know it's not everybody's favorite, but we can do this together and we can dominate it together. So try to show up with that positivity as much as you guys can. So
awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on the first seasonal, what do we call it? First seasonal team huddle. And so we'll have these each season where we'll dive in a little bit more specific to each season. We'll go over all the events. We'll answer all the questions that anybody has. And so if you're watching this and you weren't able to join us live today, make sure that you can join us. We'll have it up on the events on this app so you can join us live for the next one, and we'll answer all the questions that we have. And for everybody that is on here, thanks so much for jumping on. It means a ton to us, as much as we can get, people active and participating as a team. That's going to help all of us hold each other accountable. So it's amazing to see everybody here. And for all of those that have challenge tomorrow morning, good luck and kill it. So have a great rest of the night, guys.
Thanks for jumping on, guys. We appreciate you. Make it a great season.
See ya.
Bye.
Your continued support and energy, guys. Very grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy. I'll be messaging you tonight, okay, about your numbers.
We're cool.
Okay.
Not stressed.
Bye, Brittany. See you guys.
See you guys.